So welcome to Cherry Red TV. I'm Iain McNay. I started Cherry Red 40 years ago. And I've got with me Matt Ingham, who is our Cherry Red press guy. And he's been here 9 years. And we're going to find out more about how he got here, what he does here, and whether he enjoys it or not, and anything else about him. So Matt,
Hey.
What did you do before you came to Cherry Red?
Well, before I came to Cherry Red, I was at uni, and I was freelance music journalist. I suppose it would be the best way of putting it. But I was studying, and I wanted to be a journalist. So I was studying journalism, and I was sort of working on the side. But one of the things I was interested in was music journalism. There was virtually nothing on my course that taught me about it. So I got talking to a few people, local heavy metal club at Chester Uni, and one of them wrote for a music magazine, which I then started to write for. And there was no payment. The payment was free CDs and free gigs, but I got to travel, to Liverpool and Manchester and get on the phone to people in LA and all that sort of stuff, really. And I loved it, absolutely loved it. It was better than my course, which was, just straight news stories or style guides and that kind of thing, and it just wasn't really me. And from there, I kind of always knew that I wanted to work in music, but I had a passion for writing as well, and I kind of took it from there.
And so how did you find out about Cherry Red? We're looking for, I guess at that time it wasn't the press guy, it was just a job. It
wasn't
at
a press
Cherry
guy, I
Red.
was looking for a way into the music industry, and I thought, very much wanted it to be on that side of things, So when I came back from uni, I contacted editors and, a lot of the people that I actually work with now in my day-to-day job, I was contacting 9 years ago to ask if I could write for them. But I learned about Cherry Red through Rob,
who already works here.
Our sales guy, who had done a music management course at uni. He was same as me. We grew up together, and we were both music obsessed. From when we met, about 16, 17.
So you came in for your interview?
I came in to do work experience, I was working at Waterstones at the time. And I was part-time at Waterstones, so I managed to do every Friday at Cherry Red for a month or two, I think.
So you came here, worked for nothing?
I worked for nothing, in our old Acton offices.
And did you get some decent jobs to do on your work experience?
Yeah, I think my very first job was snapping CDs in half, which was very fun. But no, it was good. I mean, I was helping, with the mail order side of things. And it was just, your general sort of intern type jobs, but I was thrilled. I was still doing my music journalism and getting experience that would hopefully take me on a bit further.
And then you got offered a job.
Yeah, I was very lucky. I managed to turn up at just the right time. Someone else left.
Yeah.
And I think it was Adam who did say, should we try Matt?
That's always a way in, isn't it, work experience? Because if somebody impresses and a vacancy comes up, then it's kind of foremost in people's minds that person could fit the
that's
post.
The thing. It is like that kind of, it's who you know. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of getting out there, talking to people, putting your name out, working hard.
You started as office junior? And
I started as the office junior, yeah.
And what did that entail?
Flat packing boxes, there was lots of that. No, I mean, most of it was our mail order shop, which was just, I presume, in its infancy at the time, in that it's now a huge operation, that we do well at. But at the time, it was sort of, a daily job, and it was gathering momentum. So it was a lot of it was to help with that, logging orders, talking to customers, that kind of thing.
Okay, and how long did it take before the job came up of press officer?
I think I was doing it for 2 years. About 2 years I was doing the mail order and just slowly sort of progressing more. But I mean, Adam always knew that I was interested in the press side. So there'd be a few bits and pieces, the odd book, you know, or something where I'd get to kind of try out, you know, try and help and stuff.
Did you feel impatient in terms of you were doing a relatively menial job and you wanted to, you had in mind to be a press officer?
No, I didn't actually. I've never felt impatient at here. It was obviously, you know, what I wanted to kind of do, you know, do more important things to me anyway. But I was very happy, and I think I was just, you know, lucky that my predecessor left, and Adam sort of thought of me for the role, really.
Yeah. So you
got
got
the
the job.
timing.
So you got the job as press officer.
I did, yeah.
And what does that actually entail?
Well, I mean, I suppose it's every kind of promotional activity. That's how I think of it, for any of our releases, for our label as a whole, for, you know, any of the projects that we're working in, generally across, you know, any print media, any online media, radio, television, and then obviously, you know, we're quite global these days, so we have a lot of, you know, ties to Europe and America and Japan and places like that.
So it's a worldwide job, really.
It's become it, yeah. When I first started, there was no European press, and I realised, you know, every week we were getting requests from German magazines and Polish magazines and all sorts, and, you know, realised that there's probably such a huge market out there, you know, a huge market of music lovers, similar to the Mojo magazines and Q's and Uncuts, but their versions.
You know, you must be the most popular person in the company because you send out free records.
100%, yeah, absolutely, and that's what I'll put on my business cards. Most popular person at Cherry Reds. No.
So what are the challenges of the job? Because I like everybody else, read my Mojo and Uncut and the other magazines, Record Collector, and certain things get reviewed and certain things don't get reviewed. Do you get stick from artists when their records are not reviewed?
I don't think so. I think quite lucky at Cherry Red in that we work with more established acts who've been in the business actually, you know, a lot longer than I have. I think they understand how the game works. Not everything, you know, is going to be reviewed, or not everything's going to get bitten. At the same time, you know, I try and do my best by them, and I'll, you know, search every avenue that they are interested in. You know, we'll try and, you know, we'll work together to get press and to get promotion and airplay and all that kind of thing. But yeah, it's very much a sort of efforts-based job. You know, the more effort you put in, the more reviews and stuff.
I guess you really have to focus your time, don't you? Because it's endless what you can do in promotion. You can spend hours and hours on things and get not very much back for it. And there's only so many hours in the day, so you really have to say, I've got my 7, 8, 9 hours in the day, whatever. And during that, I need to achieve.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a continual list of things to do right now, this minute. You know, and then things to do every day, and then things to do every week. And really, it's just, it's a case of staying on top of it. And obviously, it goes outside of work hours from time to time. You'll find yourself setting up interviews on a Sunday afternoon, but you know, that's the sort of nature of it, really.
So what's your tip for somebody who wants to get into work for a record company who wants your job, or a job like yours?
A job like mine. I'd suggest to just immerse yourself in the music you enjoy, or, you know, in the industry itself. You know, meet as many people as you can, write for blogs, you know, start your own fanzine, start your own band. If you do get an internship somewhere, talk to everybody, you know, just really ingratiate yourself and kind of try and be remembered, I suppose.
Be remembered,
you know,
yeah.
That's
Good.
the thing. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks very much, Matt.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.